Welcome to Intelligence Gateway. How can you identify opportunities for automation in your organization? Here are some short answers to identify opportunities for automation in your organization. Analyze business processes. Analyze business processes to identify areas that are repetitive, time-consuming, or prone to errors, which could be automated. Look for manual data entry. Identify manual data entry tasks that could be automated to reduce errors and improve efficiency. Identify manual communication. Look for manual communication processes, such as email or phone calls, that could be automated to improve communication and save time. Consider high-volume tasks. Identify high-volume tasks that could be automated to free up employee time for more important work. Review customer interactions. Review customer interactions to identify areas that could be automated to improve customer service, such as chatbots or self-service portals. Discuss with employees. Discuss with employees to identify pain points or tasks they believe could be automated to improve their job performance or quality of work life. What are the best practices for selecting processes for automation? Here are some short answers to the best practices for selecting processes for automation. Focus on high-value processes. Identify processes that have a significant impact on business outcomes or revenue, and focus on automating those processes first. Start with simple processes. Begin with simple processes that are easy to automate and have a clear ROI, as they can provide quick wins and build momentum for more complex processes. Analyze processes for automation feasibility. Conduct a feasibility analysis to ensure that the processes being considered for automation are suitable for automation. Consider the total cost of ownership. Consider the total cost of ownership, including implementation costs, maintenance costs, and software licensing fees, when selecting processes for automation. Involve stakeholders. Involve stakeholders from different departments to gain a complete understanding of the process, identify potential bottlenecks, and ensure successful implementation. How can you identify and prioritize automation opportunities? Here are some steps to identify and prioritize automation opportunities. Analyze business processes. Analyze business processes to identify repetitive, manual, or time-consuming tasks that could benefit from automation. Define the criteria for prioritization. Define criteria such as potential ROI, impact on business outcomes, complexity, and feasibility for prioritizing automation opportunities. Evaluate the potential ROI. Evaluate the potential ROI for each opportunity to determine which ones will deliver the highest return on investment. Assess the impact on business outcomes. Assess the impact that automating a process will have on business outcomes such as increased productivity, improved quality, or decreased costs. Consider the complexity of the process. Consider the complexity of the process and the resources required to implement and maintain the automation. What are the best practices for designing and documenting automated processes? Here are some best practices for designing and documenting automated processes. Define the scope. Define the scope of the automated process and identify the inputs, outputs, and expected outcomes. Map out the process. Map out the entire process, including all the steps, decision points, and dependencies. Identify exceptions. Identify exceptions that could occur during the process and define how they will be handled. Choose the right automation tool. Choose the right automation tool that is suitable for the process and can be customized as per requirements. Develop a flowchart. Develop a flowchart or workflow diagram that illustrates the process visually. Define the inputs and outputs. Define the inputs and outputs of each step in the process, including data sources and destinations. How can you ensure that automated processes are compliant with regulations and policies? Here are some steps to ensure that automated processes are compliant with regulations and policies. Identify relevant regulations and policies. Identify relevant regulations and policies that apply to the process being automated. Incorporate compliance requirements into the design. Incorporate compliance requirements into the design of the automated process, such as data privacy, security, or record keeping. Review compliance during testing. Review compliance during testing to ensure that the automated process meets all relevant regulations and policies. Conduct audits. Conduct audits of the automated process periodically to ensure continued compliance and identify any potential issues. Maintain documentation. Maintain documentation of the automated process, including any changes made, to demonstrate compliance and provide evidence for. What are the best practices for testing automated processes? Here are some best practices for testing automated processes. Define testing objectives. Define the testing objectives for the automated process, such as verifying accuracy, functionality, or performance. Develop a testing plan. Develop a testing plan that outlines the testing approach, testing environment, and testing scenarios. Select test cases. Select test cases that cover the entire process and include both positive and negative test cases. Conduct regression testing. Conduct regression testing to ensure that changes made to the automated process do not affect previously tested functionality. Test with different data sets. Test the automated process with different data sets to ensure that it can handle a range of input data. Use testing tools. Use testing tools such as automated testing software to reduce the time and effort required for testing. Involve stakeholders. Involve stakeholders from different departments in testing to ensure that the automated process meets the requirements of all stakeholders. How can you ensure that automated processes are secure? Here are some steps to ensure that automated processes are secure. Identify security requirements. Identify security requirements that apply to the process being automated, such as data privacy, access control, or encryption. Test for security vulnerabilities. Test the automated process for security vulnerabilities such as SQL injection or cross-site scripting. Use secure tools. Use secure automation tools and software that have been designed with security in mind. Implement access controls. Implement access controls to restrict access to the automated process and ensure that only authorized users can access sensitive data. Encrypt data. Encrypt data to ensure that it is protected when it is transferred or stored. Conduct security audits. Conduct security audits periodically to identify any potential security issues and address them. What are the best practices for monitoring automated processes? Monitoring automated processes is important to ensure that they are running smoothly and efficiently. Here are some best practices to consider. Establish clear monitoring goals. Identify the key performance indicators, KPIs, that you want to track, such as error rates, processing times, and system availability. Set up alerts and notifications. Configure alerts and notifications to inform the appropriate team members when thresholds or other conditions are exceeded. Regularly review and analyze monitoring data. Review monitoring data regularly to identify trends and patterns that may require attention or optimization. Continuously improve monitoring processes. Continuously refine and optimize monitoring processes to ensure that they are effective and efficient. Develop a contingency plan. Create a contingency plan to address any issues that arise, including a plan for escalation to senior staff if necessary. How can you identify and resolve issues with automated processes? Identifying issues with automated processes. Monitor performance metrics and logs for anomalies and errors. Conduct regular testing and debugging to catch issues early. Solicit feedback from users and stakeholders. Conduct root cause analysis to identify the underlying cause of problems. Resolving issues with automated processes. Fix the underlying code or configuration causing the issue. Update or replace faulty hardware or software components. Adjust parameters or thresholds to optimize performance. Provide additional training or support to users. How can you measure the success of automated processes? Measuring the success of automated processes can be done using various metrics and key performance indicators, KPIs, depending on the goals and objectives of the automation. Here are some common ways to measure the success of automated processes. Efficiency. Measure how much time and resources the automation saves compared to the manual process. Accuracy. Measure the reduction in errors and the accuracy of the automated process compared to the manual process. Scalability. Measure how well the automation handles increasing workload and can scale to meet demand. Reliability, measure how often the automated process runs without errors or interruptions. Cost savings, measure the reduction in operational costs and increased ROI due to the automation. Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.